guys. Welcome to Coven Radio. I'm flying solo tonight until Miguel can join us. He may or may not make it. We don't know yet. But yeah, so welcome to the show. We've got a really cool guest on this evening. Before I jump onto that though, I'm just going to do a couple of little Cute and Creepy Gang updates because we've had some cool stuff. Let me just share my screen with you guys. Right. Let me jump on. So yeah, so there's been some big stuff happening. We've had one of the mythicals go again, which is really, really exciting. So let me show you this. Here we go. Let's switch over. So we had the most amazing thing happening this week. We had another mythical one of one go in the collection. So for those of you who don't know, these mythicals all have a bounty attached to them. So this has a bounty of 0.666 ETH. There's 5 of these in the collection. 2 have gone already. So EQ from the GU community got this one last, I think it was Friday. I think it might have been Friday or Thursday last week. So that's really exciting. And they look quite different to the rest of the collection. They're kind of slightly more magic based, spell based rather than the dolls themselves. So yeah, we sent that ETH to his wallet straight away. He was very, very happy. I think I made his Friday. So yeah, so that is definitely, if ever you needed incentive to go mint a Lunar Witch, there's another 3, let me think, there's 3 mythicals left, and there's one, she's called the Diablerie, so she is basically a mega grand witch who's like super evil, and she's got a bounty of 1.6 ETH attached to her. So if you pull her, that's like pretty cool. So that's the first little bit of news. I'm slowly working my way through all the trading cards, packing them up, doing the little lunar fortunes, all that kind of thing. So the first 10 are off and on their way. I think I put a post in the chat, so you'll be getting your packs very soon. So I'm just like working in order of Discord tickets, so there's no kind of real order. I'm just trying to not get confused with who's got what. So yeah, they're on their way to people. Thirdly, I should say, we've also got, so I was behind on the Mystic Moons, so they're the bonus mint that you get for minting 2 Lunar Witches. So I was behind because of the trading card launch and all the excitement of that minting out. So this one, it's the Panther Moon. It's not a common name for the full moon in November, but the other name was the Beaver Moon. I just couldn't bring myself to do it, so we've gone for Panther Moon. A little bit different. He's very like really old school tattoo vibes, so it's still a Russian doll, but it's kind of got quite the twist. So we have had a wolf and a fox in a similar sort of vein before, but yeah, I've gone pretty old school on the old flower design for this. So there's a few people who I owe this to, so as soon as I've finished it in the next day or so, I'll get Fraser to airdrop that across to the people who've minted this week. But yes, so that is my news. That is all that's been going on with the Cute and Creepy Gang. Thank you so much to everyone who, you know, minted for the Hollow Moons, for the trading card game. That was like super excited. I can't believe they sold out as quick as they did, so I can't wait for people to start unwrapping their packs, getting their hollows if they've got one. Some of the cards have got enamel pins attached to them as well that match, and everyone gets glitter stickers and a little Lunar Witch fortune as well, no matter what cards they pull. So I'm excited for this. But yes, without further ado, I'm gonna get on my wonderful guest. So we've got Skeets from Absurd Apes this evening. He's one of the first people I met. I think he was in a Martech space actually. So I'm going to get him on now. Let me add him to the scene. There we go. Hey.
Yo.
How are you doing? Welcome.
How are you? You all right?
I'm good, thanks. Hang on, I'm going to turn my volume up a bit. I think my volume's quite low. There we go. Yeah, so welcome to Coven Radio.
It's an honour.
Thanks for coming on. Yeah, I'm just sorry that Miguel's not here to sort of chill out and kind of meet you as well. I know he'll be gutted to have missed, but maybe I'm hoping I've sent him a message. Hopefully he'll join us shortly, maybe, but we'll see.
I don't see everyone's busy. I think life waiting. I need to get I can hear myself massively. There's
Oh
some
no. Oh, do you need to? I don't know. Is there something echoing? Maybe is it me or is it?
I'm not actually sure. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you clearly. Yeah, you're not echoing for me.
I don't know. I have to put up with it. But
You're
it's
clear.
echoing. Yeah, I mean, look, I spoke to you guys last week in space as well, and then
Thanks for joining. That we
no
enjoyed
sweat.
having you in the FCW space. That we didn't have one this week, and we all really missed it. We normally have it every Tuesday evening, so that's my closest buddies in Web3 really, and I think you're on the same sort of wavelength as all of us with your art and everything. So yeah, we'd love having you hanging out. But we all set up as a little. I don't know, we all connected in spaces and we set up like a little group and called ourselves the FCW, the Freaks, the Creeps, the Weirdos. And we kind of just lift each other up and help each other out. Like some of us are techie, some of us are very artistic and, got all different experience. So everyone's just sort of chipping in and helping because we're basically like yourself, a founder on their own, like pushing it. You haven't got a team. So we thought, let's all stick together. So yeah, the music at the beginning of the show, that was Frisky Foxtrot. He's from the FCW as well. So
wow.
Yeah, he's really talented. So they're a talented bunch, they are, yeah. So
100%. I mean,
that's good.
For being in Web3, it's all about yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
It's massively important. Before I became a fan, I was essentially doing email, collecting art, jumping into different community, jumping spaces, just meeting people, working. And I feel like it took me a long time to find, the right people to surround myself with. But now you've got that level. As an artist,
it's so important. I feel like I'm a freelance designer, so I work at home on my own all day. But I always worked in studios, and as much as I love working for myself, I do miss that having the creative bounce back off people. When you kind of sometimes you have ideas and they come straight away, and other times you have you can like need to hash them out with someone. So it's nice to have that like little group of people around to kind of shit. I think out of all the chats that I'm in, it's the only one that isn't like a shill chat in any way. Everyone's just, what do you think of this? Like,
it was a vibe.
This. It's a proper vibe. It is really cool.
It's just banter.
Yeah, we have a laugh. We do.
I felt the energy straight away.
Yeah.
These are my type of people. And it's so important.
It is.
Do it. Like you say, I'm most of the time around.
Yeah.
And your energy goes somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you return it, then you turn negative in a not a way that you might be doing or anything.
No, for sure. It can be a little bit isolating, can't it? Sometimes when you get like that, I feel. So yeah. So how did you get into Web3? Like, what's your background in terms of your art journey, as it were?
Kind of Web3, like crypto initially. Always trading. Let me do one second. I'm gonna mute me. See if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
That's fine. I can't hear myself, so I'm just gonna have to mute it.
That's so strange. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Trading, so learn all of that stuff. During COVID, learning experience, it just because on further, which means I'm paid, just to do nothing. So let this go to work. And whenever I form, pay to get paid, and that's exactly what. So I got into crypto. I actually started off in NFT. I've been massively for a long time. I'm talking UK football.
Yeah, no, I know, not American football.
You like American
as they say, soccer. sorry, American friends.
Well, I got into trading cards.
Okay,
Digital trading cards, something called So
Okay.
I was into fantasy football, and I decided to buy all the cards, like real footballers, and you put them into five-a-side leagues, and come into competition. You can win cards and things like that. That's how I got into it. The site was called and I invested into that at the right time, and I got lucky and made quite a lot out of that. But while all this was going on, the PFP NFT scene was all going on, Bored Ape was kicking off and things like that, and I was like a little bit skeptical about it. And then I just had this idea that, you know, as an artist throughout my whole 20s, I'm like 35 now, so throughout the whole of my 20s, I hadn't done any artwork. Like I completely lost that creativity around that. I was really focusing on my career. But I just had an idea when I saw the Bored Apes and I saw NFTs kicking off. I had an idea, business idea, and I jotted down, you know, scribbled down loads of ideas. And just the first thing I drew on my iPad, I actually invested into an iPad and got a Mac. And I thought, this is the first thing I've ever drew on. I was really skeptical. You'll know, as an artist, like I've always been on pen, and you know, it's been pen, canvas, you know, pencil, all of that ink work. So when I bought an iPad, I was a little bit skeptical that it wasn't going to follow my pen properly. I wasn't going to be able to draw like I would on a piece of paper. So I bought one. I thought, screw it, let's give it a go. And the first thing I drew was a Bored Ape, and I showed it to my missus, and I showed it to some of the family. And look, they loved it, and I was just like, maybe I'm onto something good here. So I ended up going into it, and yeah, I got an idea for Absurd. I had all the ideas. You know, I'm driving around in my car all the time in sales, and I just got all of these ideas flooding into my brain, like the creativity that I've just been, I guess, been compressing or repressing for a long time. So that's how I got into crypto.
That's so.
That's the long answer.
No, it's a great answer. I love that. It's so funny. I felt the same when I got an iPad. I was like literally. I felt like it was like learning to draw. It's the weirdest thing. And now I'm like the other way, where I'm like scared to put a pen on paper because I'm so used to being on the iPad.
Yeah. I'm trying to undo my mistakes on a piece of paper.
Control Z. I'm like,
yeah.
I
mean, you know yourself. You know, now I'm on my iPad, like, and I've got Procreate. It's like the best thing since sliced bread. You know, you don't have to rub out your mistakes. You know, you can just undo it, and you can make layers, and you know.
It's the layering, isn't it? That for me, like, I mean, I remember when Fraser said to me, you know, he said, I think your art would be really dope as an NFT collection. And first I was like, what's an NFT? Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, so we do it generative, but you'd hand draw it and you do it in, and I was like, okay. And I remember having to deconstruct my doll backwards and go, right, well, how do I, what's the process of drawing that and keeping every element into its layers? And now I draw like that all the time because I'm always thinking in that mindset, which I never
when you're building something in layers, you have to. I made so many mistakes. Like I originally started, like my first idea was Absurd Nerd Club, and that was the one that I was developing for so long. You know, 2 years while out in spaces. You know, just meeting people and things like that. I was actually constructing a lot of the artwork and the ideas for it, but I literally I learned so many things around that because you know as layers, when it sits, you don't want hats to go over your eyes, or your mouths to interfere, or like it's really intricate artwork. It's not like drawing just one of one.
No,
and obviously you did a one of one for us, and it's hard for me to just draw as a one.
Yeah, I think even when I created that, I still did it in the layers of like, well, what? Because I draw in that way. I mean, naturally as a graphic designer, I'm working in Photoshop and Illustrator, and that's how I'd work in those programs anyway. So it wasn't alien to me to like work like that. But I would never have, well, before when I was drawing on paper, you couldn't, and you kind of transfer that over to the iPad, and then you realise actually, and what's great, what I love is you can go, I want to try this colour, whereas before I'd have had to start the whole drawing again if I didn't like it, you know, that whole like, and the thing is, because my style is like that neat, sort of old school tattoo style, oh my god, that's such a headache to redo if you have, there's no room for error, and it's like, your style's really clean as well, and it's, there's no point bringing that shit up, is it?
I save pretty much everything. I save the outlines, I save everything, because I don't want to have the mistake where I've deleted something like as intricate as an outline, for example, that takes quite a while. I just don't want to be losing that, so I'll save everything. And my iPad's probably burning steam right now on there, but I feel like it's you've always got to kind of back up your work, haven't you? And when you were saying about colours, like I'm actually colourblind, so I do struggle with colour, but also like colouring in. So like if you're colouring in with a pencil, you'll know, like if you got crayons, for example, it's not like a clear colour; it's a bit like lighter, and the spaces. So the fact that I could drag and drop colours.
Oh yeah,
Like,
especially for bigger areas that you want to fill, like, because quite often I drag and drop the base color, and then I build up layers of color and texture over the top. Because
and obviously you can do so much with Procreate. It's just had an update as well that I need to dig into a little bit more.
Yeah, it's done. There's some new brushes and stuff. I actually reinstalled some of the old brushes, just FYI, and I spoke to a couple of people. They got rid of a few that were really nice.
Right?
They're on there, but they've taken them off, but they're still in your, if you add, they're still in your library to re-add, but like it cleaned it all up with these new brushes. It was like, oh, one of my favourite brushes has gone. I don't do that.
I'm the studio pen.
Studio pen, that's exactly the one that one had changed, and I was like, right, I'm re-adding that. That has got to come back.
It's my go-to pen.
Yeah, same.
Pretty much I do everything with. I keep it as it is as well. I haven't altered it. I just the way it brushes it suits my art style really well.
So how do you manage then with colour if you're colourblind? Are there certain palettes you stick to because you're more comfortable with, or?
So what I'll do is with generic colours I'm alright. So it's when it's like an off shade. So I struggle with like reds and browns sometimes, blues and purples, greens and yellows. But if it's like if it's on like the standard color set, so what I actually do is I actually download like a color set online, and I will put the palette into Procreate. So I've got all my go-to colors, and then any off shades, like you'll know like, on the actual collection, I've named things the color that I think it is, and the people in the community have like said, yeah, that's not that color, bro.
Brilliant. Yeah, but makes that really unique to you. That's personality right there, isn't it? That is different to anything else,
100%.
I love that. Actually, I'm gonna start sharing. I'm gonna get the share screen up. Let's have a look at the collection.
By the way, I love that pamphlet.
Oh, do you? Thank you.
That's really cool. By the way, like that's on Procreate. If you've got like a paper, it looks almost like paper.
Yeah, so that's one of my little tricks, because I really love, before I'd have drawn, my process would have been layout paper, so the really thin paper, and I'd have done my sketch, and I'd keep layering it up and keep correcting the outline. It was very laborious. And also when I was doing things very symmetrical, I'd quite often fold it in half and reopen it up and like mirror it that way. Now I have a tool that mirrors it for me, which is brilliant. But and then I'd have used carbon paper to put it on a lovely like Bristol paper, or like a thicker stock.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I didn't like the flatness on Procreate of just the white background. So I was like, wonder if I can just like layer a texture of watercolor over the top, and it just kind of it makes it feel more like Tattoo Flash, and it brings it to life a little bit for me.
It makes it realistic.
Yeah, I kind of feel it feels. And actually, what's interesting with like shading with color, it makes it a little bit more forgiving actually with the blends. I find having that texture over the top. But yeah, it's one of my things that I love to do. Right, here we go. I love your collection, by the way. Everyone in the FCW, I think, owns a couple of these, like Acid, Ukaswaka. We've all got them. So tell us a little bit about like some of the trait inspiration, and like, are you planning on doing clothing? Because like, there's a lot of like little clothing bits and bobs, like the beanies and the t-shirts and the jackets and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been into fashion. I've loved clothing. It's how you kind of show your personality, right? You wear
Yeah.
different clothing. I'm a skater boy through and through. I can't skate, but I dress that way, and a lot of I do. I've got skate stuff, but even high end fashion stuff like that. So I try to. You'll see most of the traits. Like there's a bit of my personality in a lot of the traits. I'm into rock music as well, so you can see that some of them are quite dark. But yeah, I think the clothing was massive for me because I wanted to bring out my personality in a lot of these. I love comics, so I did some of the. Um, I love space, so I did a spaceman. I love comics, so I did some superheroes, and then you've got the little. So you've got these little companions. You'll see them on the shoulder of. So that one's like the. So the reason why I put the companions in there is these are all project characters that inspired my journey with the space, and I thought it was to put them in just to show them like this Kets, for example. I remember when Kets were first around, and I remember looking at them on OpenSea, and there was around $7,000 each, and I remember just thinking like I want one of these so bad. Like it was one of those NFTs. I really loved the artwork. There was so much personality in them, and look, it was just I had to put it in the collection. And now I've actually got some Kets. I bought them for like $70 each. I didn't buy 7 grand.
No, I was gonna say £7,000.
But again,
Oh my god.
those ones you've got like the Utes. You've got a Basque in there. You've got a few different ones in there, and yeah, the companions aren't going to stop there. So this one here has got a Skeets on the shoulder. So I call it Skeets Beast because a kid called Beast is again hugely inspirational for me as a founder, as an artist. Everything about it was high end fashion. Again, when these were popping off, I couldn't afford one of these. It was
No.
like tennies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? And I think they were one of the first things that them and Doodles, when I first came into the space, was like, oh, they're really cool. And then you go and like naively go and have a look on the marketplace. You're like, yeah, no.
And I wanted one so bad. And I managed to get hold of a few, and I sold a few for some profit and things like that. But this one, especially for me, it was my forever beast. So I thought he's going in the collection. And also, it kind of no one had ever done anything like this. You've seen some companions like that, but
I've
not
seen other people adopt it since.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen it before I saw it on yours.
yeah.
And also, I like it because it feels to me a little bit like the angel or demon on your shoulder, a little bit as well, which kind of
And that's
like
exactly
that
how I
vibe.
wanted. It fits well on shoulders as well, and I was trying to put them in a way where it wouldn't overlap too many things, and it would sit well, and they actually all sit well on top of the clothing as well. So it is a completely separate trait. But yeah, I had to put Skeets Beast in there. Plus, like what artist and founder is actually within the collection. So yeah, that was for me. It was a really cool and intricate design.
Yeah, I love it. But you're hugely about the art and the artist, aren't you? I know, like one of your big kind of what would you call it? Like inspirations behind the collection is to empower artists and like
Yeah, it was
make
our
them.
mantra.
Yeah,
So our mantra was to support artists in the space. So the way we did that is we developed a raffle platform, and I was reaching out to multiple different artists one, I wanted to collab with other artists. Like I've always wanted to collab with other artists, and for me, in a way, this was the best way to do it. And also for the artist point of view, there's a lot of good artists out there that aren't getting the exposure that they necessarily want. So for me, I wanted to one collab with them, but also give them the exposure so they can might be able to find work out there, and they can show off the skills and the talent. So yeah, one of the main things for us. I mean, you're still on our profile page that we want to support artists in the space. Um, I think it's on the Twitter page. You're still on there. So yeah, I mean that's what we did, and we continued doing that, and it was amazing speaking to all of these artists. So every artist that designs a one of one for us, we would raffle it off to the community, and they would receive 70% of the funds that were made.
It's amazing. I love that because that's not normally how it works. Normally when I've been asked to do a one of one, it's just normally you do it because you like the person who's asked you and you do it, and it's kind of. But I was like, oh my god, I'm actually going to get something. I honestly, it's really good because there's a lot of artists out there who, like you, I think it says somewhere in here about like fair pay for their creations. You know what I mean? There's so many people, so many artists in this space, I think, undervalue their creative talents like a lot. I find that a lot. And when you go in the sort of more the artist-led spaces, there's people selling pieces of art that are like absolutely stunning for like $5, and you're like,
Yeah, it's
really
crazy.
that I know they might be selling say 10 of them or whatever, but even so, it's like, wow. I mean, like, it's a crazy thing that seems to be unique to Web3. Like no one else would be. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would sell prints of my work on my website, but even a print I'd be selling for like 20-25 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, like $5, for a piece that is just really unique.
This is what I mean. I was coming across so many people that are out here, and I think a lot of them in like, in countries where they need money quite a lot, and they're doing everything they possibly can to make money, and Web3 has give us all that opportunity. So for me to give it, to give some exposure for these artists, selfishly as well, I wanted to work with people. I wanted to see what people would create on the back of my creation, and I would give everyone the outlines to the to the apes, and you could have it like our collection is quite unique, and it is in a way as well because it's got two different silhouettes. It's got a naked or a shaved ape, and then you've got a furry ape. And they still all the traits mixing with each other again was pretty intricate, especially when we've not coded it. Like a lot of people will code it in certain ways, when you generate it, whereas ours is just a standard generation. Every ape will go with one another. So we gave, the artist, I wanted to give them as much freedom as possible. I just wanted them. The only rule that I would give them is for it to look like part of the collection still. But everything else was on them. Like, wanted them to be free.
I had so much fun doing it. Like,
Yours was amazing, by the way. Like yours was completely different to any one of one.
I loved it. I just had so much fun doing it. It was just so. It was really out. I've done a couple of. I did one for a really random one, which was like the art of Cthulhu, like the hamburger cult or whatever. Anyway, that one and the one for you, they felt really out of my comfort zone for what I would normally draw. So I had loads of fun doing it and kind of going, right, well, how do I cute and creepy gang this up? It's kind of like
I was expecting something like Sugar Skullish or Day of the Dead type things. Well, when you said it, I was like, wow. That again, like I couldn't even when I was looking at the detail, I was kind of thinking like I don't know, like the color schemes were just so out there, and I thought I couldn't even think of a way that how I would create that. So,
but that's how I look when I look at your. That's exactly how I feel when I was looking at yours. So when you like, oh, do you want to do one? I was like, yes, but I was like sort of a little bit terrified as well. I was like, how do I recreate this, but kind of in my way because. It was so I think sometimes it's a really good challenge. It's a really good challenge that it's like we've got the outline, and it's like, well, how do you then work within that and make it your own? It's like,
I think as an artist, you've always got to try and put yourself in your like an uncomfortable like zone of creativity, because it almost when you come back to your own work, you're almost got a little bit of a different perspective.
yeah, I do. I do enjoy doing stuff like that. Acid has got I did a one for him, which was like a little bit different for me. And he was like, oh, I could still tell it was you, but it was like I just did black, red, white. There was no like color layering. It was just really stark, and it was like this crazy skull. But it's really refreshing, and I think for you, what you're doing, like including other artists into your collection like that, even though you've minted, it like keeps that collection alive and like reinvigorates it constantly and constantly puts fresh eyes on it. So
I mean,
I think it's a genius idea.
I mean, at the start of it, like we only had 10 out of 6,666 of them. We only had 10 one of ones, and I got towards the end of drawing all the traits, and I thought, shit, I've not drawn any one of ones. Like, and I was really excited to draw them, but I actually reached out to some people that I knew, like Picasso, for example. I think you'll know Cass. And he whipped them up in no time. I reached out to a couple of artists as well. I'll have to get some of the names up because I'm absolutely shit with names, but some other amazing artists out there. I think we had maybe 4 or 5, and all of the ones that haven't been drawn by me.
Which
They was
is
added
cool.
by other artists, made sure they were paid well from the mint as well. So that was something I was really focused on, that the artist would get paid for the work and it would be a fair pay. So those guys were the first people that I paid. But yeah, it's for me, like drawing one of ones now, I've still not like proper got into drawing the one of ones. I've still got some things to do for people. Like shout out to Anonymous, by the way, who's our biggest holder. He must own like 600 apes.
No way.
Like that. But yeah, he went crazy for them, so I definitely owe him a custom one of one at some point as well. He's given me all everything, and all of the one of ones is something that I've never really had time to do at the moment. I've had too many other things to do. It's kind of been me on my own with my small team. Shout out to Captain Chronic and Zippo, and Zippo's been keeping Absurd alive since we minted out, which is almost a year. It's going to be a year in December, so
it's amazing.
It's pretty crazy.
It is crazy. That time has flown by, like literally.
Nuts.
It is mad. I think it was a Martech space I first met you in, and then I was like just coming to your spaces. Well, I can't remember if it was Tuesday night or something you were doing.
It was on a Wednesday.
Wednesday
was it? Right?
Yeah, but it's and it's really nice for me to like find another British person.
I think there's a lot of British founders coming out now as well.
There are. I'm in a group chat with a load, but I don't know. I think because they're like connecting in the day, but obviously I'm working, and then I'm like at my hours. I'm like awake late at night now because I've connected loads of people from the States, so I tend to go into the spaces late at night and kind of. Yeah, I need to maybe start doing some daytime spaces, I think.
It's hard to network though, isn't it?
It is.
Especially that's something that I struggled with at the beginning, because it was like I felt like if I wasn't in these spaces late at night, I would miss so much, and you get a FOMO and shit like that, and it's where I do a lot of my work late at night as well. Mainly because I've got a full-time job that's pretty demanding. You'll know yourself, but I mean, you're an artist all day long, right?
Yeah. So it's graphic design. So it's branding is my thing. But it's hard for me sometimes. I'm sort of creatively taxed by the end of the day. So like to find time then to go into spaces, because I've been at a screen all day anyway. So then it is a lot sometimes.
It's hard to find that new, right?
It is sometimes,
No.
yes. I was doing a regular Monday space after I finished work, but then at the minute work is just so crazy that I feel so exhausted when I finished. And yeah, and I've been, obviously we had like the trade, like you mentioned about being into the digital trading cards. We launched our first wave of physical trading cards on Halloween, and
Oh wow.
like that's been a lot of work, like a lot of work. So it's hard when it's just you or a very small team. Like it's just literally me and Fraser, like you and two others, but it's mainly you driving it, right? So it's really hard then when you're focused on developing the project, like how then you talking about it in spaces as well. It's like really difficult.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
juggle
for
both.
me, finding time for artwork was, when we launched it, we minted and we had all of these other things to do. Like we've got a staking platform now. We've got multiple other different things. We've also used shout out to Lunar Apes, and we've used some of their utilities as well. And something that I do stress as well. Like I have to remind myself sometimes that we minted this project as a complete art project, and everyone we minted out based on the art, like it just being artwork, and that's what I wanted to bring. I wanted to bring everything back to basics. I want people to just love community, just love artwork. That's why I started Absurd. And the Absurd Art Apes is kind of the introduction to what we've got going on at Absurd. There's so much more depth that we're going to go into in the future. But yeah, to have like the staking, the trait store.
I was going to say, I just seen the trait store. So you've got a trait store. You've got the Absurd Raffles is under construction. Is it at the minute? Is that the one that I got a little message on? So is this where people would go on to?
So this is where I would launch. So what we've been doing, I've actually been releasing the sneak peeks. So we had around 35 sneak peeks. I've made them into kind of one of ones, or I guess a special collection, like a special edition collection. So we'll add them to the platform, and people can go and buy raffle tickets with Absurd Token. So Absurd Token is our in-house token. People can buy traits with them. People can go into raffles with them. But also, the raffle platform was mainly to raffle off the one of ones that artists have drawn for the community.
I know that's something like it's up next on my list once I've got all the trading cards posted out. But I feel like you're really good at the broader community kind of aspect, and I've got all this like merch I've created and like physical pins and t-shirts and all this kind of stuff, that because that's where I've come from. I already had Vicky Licious and as a shop.
We're going to go into the merch side as well, so maybe we can help each other out.
Yeah, definitely. I was wondering, because it's Discord for me. I feel like the really successful projects quite often have a really active Discord community, right? It's very hard to engage on the timeline of X, whereas like Discord's very much straight from the horse's mouth. You're straight talking to the founder, you're the community direct. And I really would love to get some sort of like little witchy token on the go that people could earn and claim pins, because I'm already sending out pins to anyone who holds a Lunar Witch. I can never get can claim like a little cute and creepy gang badge, and they're really high quality. So people who've minted, they've sent me an address, I post them a little pin, and I just love that idea of you getting something tangible apart from the JPEG, which has always been because that's what I'm comfortable doing. And I feel like so many projects start off, they're in Web3 and then they're looking for a way to Web2, but I feel like I've come the other way round. Like I've come from.
To be fair though, I feel like you guys have done it in the right way, because you had, a tangible business and things like that. You've done it into Web3. I think that, look, I don't think there's any right way to do it, and I feel like the fact that you haven't launched a token is fantastic at this point, because tokens have been looked at as meme coins and all of this kind of jazz, and That's exactly why we didn't launch our absurd token, as a proper token. We launched it in-house initially, and
Yeah.
I won't drop the alpha just yet, but need to be stacking it.
Yeah, I think it's I see Crypt Social, he's in the chat there. There we go. Old Crypt, he's always here. Like their community does it really well, as in their Discord, where there's like bones to collect and they can earn stuff, whether that's NFT. And I just think it's beyond, it keeps people interested and excited, and I kind of feel like that's what I'm lacking at the minute. That's because I'm not like really huge in Discord myself. Discord's quite a new thing for me, so yeah, I might have to pick
I want to
up
say,
my-
before that project, I hated Discord with a passion. It was so complicated, and even now, like I get by with it and things like that, but it's not like my go-to place. I've lived on Twitter. Twitter was the main thing where I'd networked. I met so many people. Discord I've really struggled with, but now I realize, as a founder, it's a whole for the community
Yeah,
to go
that's
into.
what I came to realise as well. I kind of was the same. I remember when we first started out and we set up a Discord and it was completely dead, and I was like, oh, this is a time sump. What's the point? That's how I felt, And then you
It can be
start.
ghost towns as well, and it can
Yeah, well,
affect the way you think about it sometimes.
ours is a little bit like that currently, until I use it to do, like, how I get it active normally is I'll do a giveaway. I'll be like, if you go into our chat and comment X, Y, or Z, then I'm going to put you in the raffle to win an NFT or a t-shirt or whatever. And that normally gets people coming in and saying hi, and before you know it, those little organic conversations start, and it's just like, people have got to have a reason to be there. It's not enough to like, which is, I find, a really tricky thing to kind of.
It's really difficult to combine the two with Twitter. I remember
so many artists don't like Discord as well. So if people are like really into you because of the art and they're artists themselves, they really generally don't like Discord, is what I find too.
No. It's a weird old thing, is Discord sometimes to me. It is a bit of a minefield, and all of these different bots and things like that. There's a bit of coding, and yeah, it's a bit wild. But like I was saying off air, like, I think before anything, with the Discord side of things, it was always just Twitter. Like it's where I grew my following, and the fact that, but I think it's it's wise to think there's people that really like Discord, um, and there's people that really don't like Discord, and people just stick with Twitter. But like, but even when we first started the Discord, and the project wasn't fully going yet, we hadn't minted. I think the Discord was open for around 8 months before we had minted, and even then, like, it was still a bit of a ghost town. Like, some people wouldn't come in, and it's Web3 is all about attention. If you've got a community that can just create attention and keep people active all the time, great. I mean, and Zippo, by the way, Mr. 1% from our community, and
He's super
he's probably my man right now.
Yeah.
What he does with like quizzes, he's got poker on the go, he's got some new things happening. I owe a lot to him.
Yeah. You are super lucky to have somebody like that. Yeah, it's really lucky to have someone like that, because it is really it feels like an impossible mountain to climb for me personally when I'm on my own. Because Fraser's the dev, he does all the code, he's the contract man. Anytime we do a new mint, he'll sort out the web page, he does it all. So we're lucky that we're not having to use launch pads and stuff like that. It's all our own contract, but he is not comfortable. I did do an interview with him on here the other week, which he really enjoyed, but he's not ever going to be somebody sat in spaces, or it's just not his bag, and I agreed early on, that's fine, I'm happy to be the face of it. But then it's like, wow, that's a lot. So
it's mixing it all, isn't it? It's hard to balance it all.
Yeah.
Like, I created the website. I'm no developer or anything like that. I created our website, designed it, and it's not the best website. It's still a bit of an upgrade as well. But I created that. I got someone to create the Discord for me, because I definitely was. That was not my.
No, I won't dare. If I touched our Discord, you could guarantee it would be like broken in like 2 minutes.
We can hook you up. I know some people that can sort it all out, and the proper Discord heads, and they can do all of that side of things. But like I say, with that side of things, to do the artwork, and we launch with Launchman NFT as well. So shout out to Launchman NFT.
Yeah, they're great.
At this point, I've never needed a developer. Like everything that we've done so far, even to this day, we've still not needed a developer. And Launchman NFT, we generated the artwork on there. We had a mint page. We had a DApp on there, a minting DApp, and honestly, to have someone like Launchman NFT, and I thought, before coming into it, I was like, shit, we're going to need this, we're going to need that, we're going to need that, and we're going to need this person. And I did it on my own. Like, if it inspires anyone out there who is an artist, they can go out there and just create an art collection on Launchman NFT on their own without a developer. Just go out and do it.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're huge in this space, aren't they? Like they've helped so many people. So many really cool projects have minted on those.
They walked me through it all as well, like step by step. There's guides on there. The big now as well. They're on. They go into spaces and they do their own spaces now, which is fantastic. And it's nice to see them developing in the space and getting more awareness. For other aspiring, project leaders or artists or anyone else out there. Yeah, it's Launchman. I owe a lot to Launchman NFT to go out there and do that. I think we're probably at a point now in the project where I'm kind of looking for more people to work with. We will eventually need a developer. But the things that we've got planned next, like we'll probably need like a few more people within our team. Mainly not for Discord or anything like that, not like for project managing. We've got these guys, we've got some amazing people in our community. But it's mainly for the actual business side of things and it kind of leads me on. I'm doing something huge this year with Absurd, and I've never done anything like this before. I'm going to a big IRL event called Solana Conference, Breakpoint.
Yeah.
It's in Abu Dhabi. I'm so excited.
That's amazing. That's so exciting. I went to NFT NYC this year.
Oh wow!
And I managed to get the Cute and Creepy Gang on the Times Square billboard as well, which was pretty dope. So,
oh wow!
It's exciting. It was like it blew my mind. I'm meeting so many of the people I connected with on X like over the past 2 years. It was great to hang out with NF Creeps who you chatting with like in the space last week, and Ukaswaka and Metalhead, and it was just awesome to meet those guys. It was like other level, but it's exciting. So when is that? Is that this year or next year?
It's actually I think it's on the 9th of December over there for 5 days.
Oh wow!
It's like a 3-day event. And honestly, I just can't wait. Like in my IRL work, I'm a sales guy, I'm a business guy. I live at networking events, So it's going to be really surreal to go to a networking event and meet all the amazing people that we've known and breathed for so long. Actually talk about Absurd.
I know, that's exciting. Are you doing? How is it set up? Are they guest speakers? Do they have like a gallery of stuff? Like,
to be honest, like, I'm kind of not looking into it too much. I want it to be a bit of a surprise, but I know that Solana Breakpoint is one of the biggest events of the year, and they've taken over the full Etihad Stadium in Dubai. It's going to be wild.
Oh my God.
It's going to be pretty overwhelming.
That's going to be huge.
I'm excited about it. I feel like to be connecting with people out there that I've known for a long time, but also the opportunities that it could bring for not only our community but for Absurd, for the business, for the future of Absurd as well. And there's a lot of things I haven't spoken about business wise, and this is one of the reasons why I'm going to Solana Breakpoint,
Amazing.
connections, and maybe develop some things.
That's so exciting. I can't wait to see all. I hope you're going to be posting constantly on your timeline. I'd be like,
I'm on Meta Ray-Ban, so everyone's going to be coming with me. Meta Ray-Ban.
Oh, wicked. Amazing.
I'll be doing live streams and things like that, walking around the event.
Oh, so cool.
It's going to be a whole different experience for me. I've never done anything like this in my life. On my own.
Are you going on your own? Are you taking anyone with you, or?
Yeah, I'm going on my own. I'm a lone soldier, though. I've always been that way, and I'm never uncomfortable in those type of environments. I feel, if anything, I kind of flourish in things like
well,
that.
If your background is like sales and stuff, like that's naturally your kind of comfort zone, isn't it?
It's going to be daunting for sure.
Oh God, especially if it's like an Etihad Stadium full of people. That's like huge.
No doubt, for me, no doubt there's going to be so many smart people there that know a lot more than I do. Probably, even about, when they're speaking, there's a lot of speakers going and things like that. I might even take in a lot of the technology side of it. But I think, unless we put ourselves in these kind of situations, we'll never learn, develop.
100%.
But for me, if I can surround myself with more smarter people, then we'll only elevate, right?
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. I am even just going in I've been going into some of the bigger spaces with like that, you're never going to go up and speak on the panel, but I every day I'm just like listening whilst I'm working. You learn things that you think, oh, I didn't know you could do that, or I've not heard of that platform, or you've definitely got to kind of go out of your comfort zone, and because I think it's easy to get into the trap of like always moving around with the same people, because it's not that big a space, really, is it? Like not really.
We can get very comfortable,
yeah.
So spaces that we like to be in. And for me, like, Web3's changed so much since I came into the space. Like, the space has changed, people have changed. But for me now, I'll try to go in a different, like you said, go into a different space, go and meet some new people. I jumped into your space the other day. Like, I never jumped into a space. I was like, fuck it, I'll just go in there. And look, you have to escape the bubbles to grow as a person.
Yeah.
It's great to go into circles that you're comfortable with and things like that. But I feel like for me, it got a little bit repetitive at times. We were talking about the same things, and
yeah, it definitely does. I was sort of hanging out in the same space, and you think, oh, you've heard the same conversations repeatedly, and like
it's like the mega spaces and that type of shit.
Well, that kind of that's sort of died, isn't it? Because when I came into the space, when we did our free mint, which was the Dead Cute Sugar Skulls, so that must be like 3 years ago now. And that was the thing, was to go into, well, Fraser would literally like troll Twitter, and there was always like loads of these scheduled spaces where you could like request to be a speaker, and then give you a massive Google Drive form to fill out, and you'd be like, this would be like what I'm going to talk about. This is my link. This is my, and you'd fill all this, and then you go in, and then you get 10 minutes, no one, or 5 minutes even. No one's actually really listening to you.
Everyone's waiting for a giveaway.
Yeah, and it was always like, and Fraser was like, we're not giving away any more Lunar Witches. I'm sick of it. And it was like, it got to the point where we were like, I am sick of this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But those spaces seem to have died a death.
It's actually quite difficult to find spaces.
It is now. I feel I quite like there's a few I like, and I tend to find now you get mints from the back of going into a space and just hanging out and talking about shit rather than. And generally, if people like you, they go, "Oh, what you got on?" Tell us a bit. And it's not like that shill anymore. I feel like it's more. People are more it takes longer. People want to kind of connect with you. People are definitely more cautious about what they mint now. I don't feel like, I do believe collectors did used to go to those shill spaces and be like, oh, buy and buy, but I just don't think that died. Like,
no, it's definitely
just after I joined the space, actually.
100%. When I was doing like the Absurd 1% Club space, like for me, like I wanted to know about the founder. I wanted to know about the person behind the PFP. Like I was intrigued by it all. It wasn't just about the project for me. Yes, we get them to talk about the project and stuff like that. But for me, I wanted people to just chill, like just come into the space and come and chill. It didn't always go like that because everyone was just used to coming in and going, right, it's chill and I'll, bye, I'm leaving now and things like that. But for me, I was always trying to drag something out of them, like drag a little bit of personality and a bit of person behind the PFP type of thing. And I've always been a believer that if people are out here buying NFTs, they should be investing into the person and not just the PFP
Yeah, definitely.
or anything.
I definitely agree, and like, and into their wider vision, like of what the future is as well. I feel like you can tell the people who are super passionate, like yourself, where the ideas never stop. You're always thinking about what's next, what's next, what's next, and I just think that is, you're not going to disappear. Like so many people who I met early on, like have just gone from this, like they've disappeared. I just don't know what happened to them. They had some amazing art, some amazing collections, and they seemed to be minting steadily, and then they just gone. And you're like,
I think some people, I understand that on a deeper level because I have taken breaks away from the space, and that's mainly because like IRL life gets really busy for me, or I moved house, we had a death in the family, life happens outside, and it's not always it. It's not you in Web3 you only see what's on social media, and you don't know what's going on in people's lives, and for me, like my job is really high demanding, and there's times where the pressure's on, and it's really hard for me to balance everything. And for me, like it's finding the balance of being a founder, because look, before all of this, I'm just an ordinary guy. Like I was doing artwork. We sold out a collection, and I think for me, like the community have always stuck by me because they've known me as just a real guy out here.
yeah, you're
I'm not
super
fake.
down to earth.
I'm a genuine guy trying to do. The way I say it is, I'm an ordinary guy trying to do extraordinary things, and it's going to happen. And everyone that's been patient with us and gone through the whole journey of like me taking these odd breaks here and there, and I I recommend everyone taking breaks here and there.
Oh,
However,
for sure.
everyone's different. But for me, sometimes I just have to retreat and focus on one thing. I've got a bit of ADHD, and I have to focus into one thing sometimes, because if I'm not giving my full energy here, then I feel like I'm doing the community a disjustice. I'm doing the project a disjustice by doing that.
Yeah, you've got to look after yourself in order to like be there for the community and stuff. I'm guilty for not taking enough breaks. But like last week, I said, I messaged Miguel. I was like, I cannot do the stream. I am so exhausted. Work has been so frantic, and sometimes you're like, I really just need to like just lie in a dark room.
Finding your own balance. So, like you've got to find your own balance. Like, if you'll probably just disappear in your iPad, or I do the same. And I think it's for me right now, like it's been such a learning process for me for the whole 12 months that Absurd has been minted for. And I feel like I'm at the point now where I'm finding balance and not going too hard in things, because what I'll do is I'll be in all of these spaces, and I'll be trying to do this and I'll be trying to do that. I'm just trying to do it all,
Yeah.
and I feel like just chill out.
Yeah.
Like
I think
find your balance.
you feel like it almost well, I know I feel this, but you almost feel it's not that you're in a hurry. It's just that you're excited about what you're doing, and you kind of forget sometimes to go, there is no hurry, slow down, you do things as you get to them, no one's going anywhere. And I have to have that word with myself sometimes because I'm the same. I'll be like working whilst I'm in a space, and then someone will throw me the mic and I think, oh, I have got time, I will say so. And you just like, before you know it, you're like designing a menu with your left hand, you're in a space with your right hand, and it is too much. It's like it just gets overwhelmed. I find it overwhelming. I think all creative people have that slight that where you're just your creative brain is just always itching. I don't know. It's very hard to switch off.
Right.
Yeah.
I get that so much.
Yeah, for 100%. But you've got a new collection coming, right?
We have. And I've actually
Is
passed the reins on.
Is this a little sneak peek?
So we've actually got 5 sneak peeks at the moment. So this is the latest one, and I'm blown away because this is not my artwork. So
Who's designed this then?
upon our, like, when I was, meeting all of these different artists and we was collabing and we was getting them to do one-of-ones, RAC, who's the artist that is for that is a bit of alpha for everyone. So RAC has created the new collection of the mutants, and he's absolutely smashed it out of the park. But he actually drew, I think it was 2 or 3 of the original one-of-ones for us, and I've just been connecting with him and chatting with him, like, know a little bit about him personally, and I'm just like, I really wanted to give him the opportunity because I just feel like he could take it on.
It's really cool. It
I'm
still
honestly,
feels it like channels
I'm blown
you
away.
so much, but then is so different. It's really
I love it, but he's
weird. I love
proper,
it.
he's proper mutated
Yeah,
the
love
AA
it.
that I created, and all look, he was so professional as well. I gave him look, I told him the idea. So the collection is inspired by Earth, land, and sea. So you'll have sea traits in there, you'll have earth traits in there, you'll have everything to do with the sky. It could be flying, it could be anything. Like on one of the others. If you go, have you in our Discord, Vicky?
I am in your Discord, but I haven't got my Discord loaded up, so it'll probably. Are there
Oh,
any
have you not?
more sneak peeks on your X? I'm sure I saw one, another one.
Yeah, if you keep going down, we post a lot.
No, I mean,
There's one.
great.
I'm honestly, I'm blown away with it. Like,
They're just
that's
like, it's just so imaginative. It's got the comic book vibes as well. I feel like it's definitely feels like.
Yeah, his artwork is very much like that. Like, I couldn't draw again like he does, but he fits. When he was doing one-of-ones for me, like, his style really fits mine. Like, his
It
line
really
work
does.
is very similar,
I
but
didn't realise you hadn't drawn them, honestly.
yeah, he's nailed it, hasn't he?
Yeah, they're so in keeping with the whole absurd kind of vibe, you know?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's been well ingrained with Absurd since the beginning. Like, he was constantly doing one-of-ones for us and things like that, and we was raffling them off for him. And I couldn't think of a better guy to take on this next collection. For me, like, I don't think I would have struggled with the mutations, but I didn't want it to be another one of the like the proper board mutations where you can't really make out what's going on in the
No,
artwork.
and it's just like a load of slime, and it's kind of
Yeah, they've got like diamonds coming out of their eyes and
yeah.
mouth, and I never vibed with it, and I was just like, let's
I get
mutate
that.
it in a completely different way.
Yeah, I get that.
And he was so professional, and I bought him the idea, and he sent me like all of the trait ideas. I was like, bro, he's
Killing it.
honestly like. I really want him to get more opportunities on the back of this.
Yeah.
But I really hope the community love the artwork as much as like I love it as well. And we're getting, it seems like everyone's loving them so far.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, everyone's just going to be, yeah, there's just no doubt everyone's going to love these. It feels like a natural, like, sort of development and progression, so it doesn't feel like so out there that you're like, well, where's this come from? It's really,
still absurd.
Yeah, it totally
And that's what I love
which
about
is
it.
really
Like, it's
clever.
still absurd. And it's got the vibe still. But for me, like, I wanted to pass on the reins to do this next collection, mainly because, I had other, art responsibilities, and I was, I've been doing the Absurd Nerd Club, which is exciting. But that's going to become way down the line. I wanted to look. We needed to bring out a mutation. I wanted to bring out, people. I wanted people to get excited about a mint again and things like that. And look, Absurd. We didn't with the first collection. We didn't make a lot of money. It wasn't about that. For me, it was more about introducing everyone and Web3, the community, to Absurd and what we've got going on and what is. That's why we gave half the collection away at Mint. And look, we've never really had a lot of money within the project yet. But like I say, we wanted the introduction to come first before we start moving on to other things.
Yeah, that
Well,
makes
it's given me so much more time now. I'm really focusing on the artwork. It's given me so
yeah.
much more time to do other things.
It makes sense to do it that way for sure. That's why we came out with a free mint before we did a paid for mint. You know, we were like, well, let's show that we can deliver something for the community, blah blah blah. You know, and kind of show a bit of trust and that the art's nice and it's yeah, I totally get why you would do it that way. Tell us a little bit quickly about the Absurd Nerd Club then.
So that's where it started. I mean, the logo's way developed since then, but that was where it started. You know, no one's seen this artwork of the nerds, and it's way older than Absurd Art Apes is. That's for sure. I've actually completely changed them. I probably put around 10,000 hours into the nerds artwork. But when I look back at it, I've come a long way.
It's mad, isn't it? Like even now, looking at the Lunar Witch, I do monthly Mystic Moon creations, like that Panther one. So that's basically if you mint 2 Lunar Witches, you get a bonus Mystic Moon. And because I'm drawing a new one every month, and I'm developing the kind of universe and the different witches that are involved, like you can see how you're developing, and it's not that I don't love what the Lunar Witch stuff, but I can see. You start picking it apart a bit, don't you? And going, oh, I'd have done that differently, or I may not have put that with that, or it's interesting, isn't it? How
I remember being, looking at the nerds and being like, shit, there's nothing out there like this. And look, they're still unique to this day. But I feel like I've started to redesign them in a way because I know what the space wants, and that's why I've changed it. It'll probably forever be in my heart, like all of the old artwork, and I will probably develop some of the ideas around it, but it's going to be completely different to Absurd Art Apes when I bring the nerds out. It's more like thicker lines. It's more simple. It's completely no one's ever seen it. But Absurd.
What's it inspired? Like, what's the style inspired by? Is there any particular art style or artist that's inspired it, or do you not want to say? Or
What's it inspired by? Maybe Doodles a little bit.
Okay, that kind of like vector clean. Simple.
Aesthetically really simple, but also there's definitely going to be some absurdity to it. So there is going to be some intricate, details within there. But it's mainly going to be, like I say, I've never shared anything like this, but it's mainly going to be like pretty simple. But Absurd Nerd Club is, like I say, it's the foundation of why Absurd exists. So I wanted to put it on the website and let everyone know that this is where it started, and it's going to be the future of Absurd. Like that's the proper business side of everything we do at Absurd, and there's going to be in the next stage. So I'm going to be. I'll tell you some alpha, and I've not shared this with the community yet because I'm going to be waiting for the right time because we have actually got a brand new event coming up pretty soon called Absurd Portals. Now, basically, what people are going to be able to do with all of the apes that they've currently got is they're going to be able to go for a portal and all 400 plus traits that we've got. And basically, it's going to be like rolling the dice again, like rolling the dice and reminting, essentially reminting. So bringing back the minting vibes. But what I'm going to be doing is we've added some different things in it. So I've drawn some new. No one's like people might listen back, but we've drawn some new some new companions. There's some new traits in there. Now these are going to add like bonuses. So we've got a stake in at the minute. Everyone's earning Absurd token. So if with one of the companions, which might be from a recognizable community in the space that might have their own token that is actually launched, they will earn, say if they get, one of these companions, they will earn on their staking drip, they will earn that community's token, which is actual
Oh
money,
wow.
um, at this stage. But it's good. It's an exciting thing that I wanted to bring out for a long time. I've been working on some of the new drapes and new artwork for a while now. So that's the next thing that's going to come, and that's probably going to be coming before the next mint. But Alpha on the next mint on the mutant is all the funds that we make from this. We're going to be one launching our absurd token. So everyone that's been staking and thinking that this absurd token is doing nothing and I can't do anything with it,
It's got a
trust me,
purpose. They just don't know it yet.
they'll realize if they've been staking it for a long time and they've been earning a lot of absurd token, like Anonymous, for example. If Anonymous is in the chat, he's probably an absurd billionaire right now. But we're going to be launching the token, and that's where quite a bit of the funds are going to be going to do the token. But one of the major ones is like this is where the business starts. Like I say, Absurd Art Apes was the introduction for everyone in the space. This is Absurd. This is what we're about. This is our community. But with this next collection, like the funds that we make, well, like this is where we start the business, and the business is going to be in clothing. So in fashion, you've got.
You had to be. I mean, like I said, the traits on your apes. I'm always like, I really want that beanie. I really want that top. I thought, there's no way you can't be making a
So
clothing
we're going to have merch. So the merch is definitely going to be a thing, and we're going to have things like 1% drops because our mantra is 1%. So there's going to be 1% drops, clothing drops. But the merch is kind of separate to what the clothing brand is, because the clothing brand is going to be the actual business side. And once we get the business going, we can start sharing some of the rev share to the community and the stake and everyone that supported us. We'll make sure that when this clothing brand is big, we will make sure that people know that it started in Web3, and where the foundations lie.
That's amazing. So if you're not staking your apes, that's what you need to go and do. Like myself, I've got quite a few. I need to go and stake them.
Not being people have been staking for over a year now. We've got over 60% staked at the moment, and even on our floor price has been up and down, and we should never really we shouldn't rely on the floor price being on who we are as a project or anything like that. People get frustrated, people will sell them, whatever it is. And that's completely fine. I wanted people to make money out of the collection,
Yeah.
But
that's how we always felt about out. Like we've enforced royalties for the original person who mints, so we don't get the royalties. The people who originally mint the witches get the royalties, which I just think is a nice thing to do for your community, like to reward them for like their loyalty or being the first people in.
I can't wait to get back to them. This is the point. Like on this next mint, like this is the point where we can really give back to the community in a way where, they never thought they was getting much when they was getting absurd token and they was staking and earning that. But trust me, they'll enjoy it from this next mint. That is for sure.
So if you want to go stake your apes and you haven't, go into the link tree on
Absurd World link tree on the page.
And then it's on here, staking, and that'll take you through to stake. And I guess you just connect your wallet and
connect your wallet open. Shout out to Gotham Labs that created our staking platform and our trait.
Wow, nearly all of so many of them are staked. Right, I need to go and do that later.
Yeah. So I think there must be over 4,000 something, right?
4,191 staked. It says.
Yeah. So it's almost. I think it's like 60%, just over. And even on our floor, our floor price has stayed pretty steady. Look, I think people don't realize that. I have to remember that we're such a young project out here.
And so many people do not stick around. Even for 12 months after they minted. They take the cash and run, don't they? Like essentially.
Yeah. I think a lot. I think the reason why there's been a lot of ruggers out there is because there's a lot of young people that will launch a project. They'll have all of these amazing ideas, and then you realise it's really difficult to
It
implement
is
a lot of these.
difficult.
They just cut and run. For me, it's always been a business, you know.
Yeah, I think that's how me and Fraser have always, and I think where I've always had like Vicky Licious, where I've been selling like prints and designing things and creating collections and kind of, I got a strong idea about brand and like, I think for me, it's like, well, it's not like this massive like race to the finish line. I feel like I'm building something that is kind of to be proud of, and I think I very much get that from you, that it's your passion and you're proud of it, and you're building a legacy essentially, like
100%.
which I think a lot of people don't. I think they come into the space and they just want to mint a project and kind of make a load of money, and but I think the space now, those people have gone. I feel like the people left now are real builders. That's my vibe when I go in spaces now. It's like,
I get that too.
it's
100%. I
a
feel like,
very different atmosphere.
yeah, I feel like there's a lot of bad actors left, and look, there's a lot of KOLs out there still pushing the narrative and stuff like that. But look, I think people have got more savvy, they've got more smart with the space. We've been around, NFTs have been around almost 5 years now, so it's I feel like the space has grown into developed into such a I guess a worthy place. People are here for the right reasons. People, still want to. People are in this space to earn money. And if that's trading, if that's NFTs, whatever it is, if it's for the artwork, cool. Whatever the narrative is, I think there's more good people here than bad. And
yeah, it feels like that now for sure.
Yeah,
I definitely
100%.
feel it's very like, even down to the atmosphere in spaces. I remember when I first, it's like really overwhelming and kind of intimidating, especially being a woman, I will say. Like going back, say, 3 years ago and heading into some of these spaces, and it's like a proper bro fest, and you're like, kind of, shit, I got to get up and talk about my project, and I'm not the tech person, because it used to be there'd be a time where you'd be like, well, why are you minting at that price? What are you going to do with this? How are you? And it'd be like proper. Whereas now that is like, everyone's taken a breath and gone like, okay, slow down, and you feel okay to go, do you know what? I actually can't answer that. That's like something for my dev to answer, or I don't know exactly, but I know this was the thought. Whereas I think back in the day, there was spaces where I'd be like, I am never going back in there ever again. That was just awful.
Well, I still get that vibe
just
sometimes today, and I'm just like, why the fuck am I sat in this space? That I can't even get a word in it edgeways or anything like that. But I think the more real you are, like you said, when you're going up and you're honest about certain things. We've not got onto that bit yet, or we're still working that this side of the project out. I feel like being original and honest and being yourself is what people see out here. And I feel like you definitely got a community that stick with you, that are just die-hard fans of everything that Vicky does. And I think sometimes we just have to remind ourselves that it's hard sometimes to not beat yourself up. Like I struggle sometimes if people aren't active enough, or like sometimes I beat myself up.
Yeah,
On
I do
that.
the same. I think this is probably again an artistic kind of passionate thing, but I have definitely, I'll have a success and then I hit a slump straight after of like, how it should have been different, or like, oh, I wish this had done more, or I wish, why didn't that get people minting when I did this? And I completely, I'm like my own worst critic, and I can get in a real like bad place over it, and you've got to kick. And normally I will say, Miguel, who's not here, it'll be like a WhatsApp message to him going, oh, I feel like shit, and you'll be like, right, get a grip. This is
Sometimes
why,
I just
and you just need somebody who gets it, because they're also creative and they've also got a project. So it's normally my mate NF Creeps, or it's normally Miguel, and like, and they do the same with me, like, oh shit, this, I'm gonna have to put this date back on something they were wanting to launch, or and you just kind of hash it out and kind of say it's
having an
honest,
outlet,
yeah,
having an outlet to
definitely.
speak to.
And I feel like, I think you're judging yourself more than anyone else is judging you as well a lot of the time. That's the thing.
100%. Sometimes I just need a chat with myself, and I'm just like, why the fuck are you even thinking this way? Like for me, like I say, I'm probably at the best place I've been now, like, you know, mentally and, you know,
Is that from taking a bit of a
balancing.
break, do you think?
I mean, look, my breaks definitely help, but I think it's like I say, it's learning about myself as a founder. Like, you know, I've never experienced being a founder before. I've always just been an artist. I've been a community member, and look, I'm still part of the fucking community now. I still fucking mint my stuff. I'm still a bit of a degen, and you know,
Yeah,
I've got a lot of passion for the space. And it shows true in what I do out here. And I think, you know, for me, I'm just learning. I'm learning every single day. I'm learning about myself. I'm learning about what to do in the space next. And I feel like I'm finally at a period where I'm comfortable with that, like having the pressure of the community. Um, I'm completely comfortable with that. Like, I've come to terms with it now. Like, you know, when I first minted and we had this, everyone relying on Skeets and where's Skeets and, you know, what Skeets going to do next. And I've come to terms with like, this is, I'm fine with that now.
yeah, yeah. It is a huge pressure. I've definitely totally get that 100%. But yeah, oh, it's been so cool like chatting to you and diving into everything. Like it's really nice because quite often we've been in spaces and it's like there's other people in there, so it's so nice just to sort of chat one-on-one. That's what me and Miguel kind of wanted to do. We were like wanted to invite on people who we just really respect and are like really cool artists and founders, and just like chat away. And
I really appreciate the invite as well. And like I say, one of my, I guess, long-term friends out here, another fellow artist as well. And I feel like we've got a lot of history. And look, this is the first stream I've ever done. This a lot
I
of
know, it's
people have
amazing.
never
I'm
seen my
so
face
jealous.
before.
I'm so
So
jealous. You're great to come on. So I've had a few people go, nope, nope, I'm not coming on because I don't want to. And I'm like, well, you can come on as a BFP, it's fine. But
I feel like it doesn't give as much depth that, you know, you run your PFP in spaces, this is a stream, and people come to watch the stream. They're not going to come and see my fucking PFP and see my PFP
I
every
see that every day. I mean, I'm always putting my face out there. I'm just constantly. I don't care anymore. I lost like.
Yeah, you've always done it.
Because I always did with Vicky Licious, because I couldn't afford to pay for models for like t-shirts, so I would model my own t-shirt. I was like, you know what I mean? Take a picture of myself wearing my t-shirt. That's like all I can
Well,
afford.
if you need a male model at any point,
oh no, definitely, I'll send you some t-shirts. I'm always like, Jace, my boyfriend, will you put on like one of these biker t-shirts and like wear it to the beach so I can take some pictures? You know what I mean? I can't afford models, so you know.
When it comes to merch, though, like, you know, we definitely need to hook up on the merch side. Like, I've actually recently designed some merch for the Solana Breakpoint event, and it's the first time I've got hold of like a design thing where I've just created my own like merch
That's
and
so
just the
cool.
logos on there.
I did fully rep Cute and Creepy Gang t-shirts every day I was in New York. Like it was really nice to kind of, and people were like, oh my god, Vicky Licious. I'm like, yeah, and it's because you got your t-shirt. Like, you know, people just, yeah, it was cool. I loved that.
It's going to be nice to wear something like absurd, like with the logos on and stuff
well, you're
like
proud
that.
of what you do. So it's like, it's just, yeah, I'm almost always in a Cute and Creepy Gang t-shirt these days because I just feel like if it sparks a conversation with even like a random dog walker, who cares? You know, it's like,
if it catches their eye as well, like it's something to be even more proud about because it's like, yeah, I fucking did that.
Yeah, I even put my dog. I've got like one which is a pumpkin, like cute and creepy doll pumpkin. I put my dog in it for Halloween, and so many people were like coming up to me going, "Oh, that's a really cool T-shirt." I was like, "Is this how I have to sell my shit now and put my dog, like basically dress my dog?" It's like no way, but yeah, it's yeah. I loved wearing. Jace wore a t-shirt as well for me in New York, and it is like, so yeah, to get your merch and wear it in.
I can't wait to give it out to people as well. Like, I can't wait to start giving it out to the community. Like I say, the merch is going to be different to our clothing brand. The clothing brand, we've got a name and it's so marketable. It's going to take off. I've no doubt about it. But for that side of it, like even the merch, I've always loved quality. For me, like it's about heavy cottons and nice cottons and things that wash well.
Yeah,
because
so
you can
that's
keep
one
it
of the
fresh.
major feedbacks I had because I've been trying to do like Holder of the Month awards and like send in a t-shirt to someone who's been really active or whatever. And that is the main feedback I've had is, oh my God, they're the softest t-shirts I've ever worn and they wash really well. And that's all I care about. Because I went for the organic cotton that's a little bit heavier and it's like
And yeah, you said
soft.
the organic, yeah.
And I just, it means that they're a little bit more pricey, but I don't care. I'm just like, I'd rather somebody go, I've worn it like tons and it's like still looks amazing than, you know, because I got given a few t-shirts when I was out in New York and you feel them and they're like scratchy and they kind of like, I'm like, yeah, that's going in a drawer.
The thing is, like, it's got to wash well as well, right?
It has. I'm yeah, you know, and we live in the UK. We don't get to hang shit on the line. We have to tumble dry stuff.
Exactly. I mean, it's fucking 1 degree outside. I need to
it's so
wear
cold.
something thicker.
It's ridiculous. Oh God. Oh, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Sorry, I've gone way over than what I said I would, but yeah.
Well, no, I've actually really enjoyed the conversation, Vicky, and I appreciate
it's
your
been
time
lush.
and everyone that's joined. I hope everyone got the alpha and
Yeah.
you'll be able to watch this back and get it all. And I just thought, for me, like doing this stream because it's my first one, I really wanted to give everyone an inkling of who I am as an individual, what we've got coming with the project, and shit. I'm just an ordinary guy trying to do extraordinary things.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's amazing. Oh, well, thank you so much. I shall wrap it up there because I suppose I should go to bed. And you as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's
super
getting
late.
late,
We've done
yeah.
it on like American time zone here and we haven't even got Miguel with us. But I've got, I think I may have a guest for next week. I'm just waiting for them to confirm. So I won't say who it is because I don't want to pressure them. Just in
Okay,
case.
cool.
But yeah, they've got a really, really cool collection that's just minted and they've just revealed. So I'm hoping they'll be on next week.
Oh,
But yeah, thanks so much for joining us and hopefully we'll catch up again soon. Like it'd be really good if you came on when you launched the second mint and
oh yeah. I'll definitely be coming back on for sure. Like I say,
having our regulars.
yeah, like look, I want to do this more with you for sure. You know, even hosting whatever you need. You know, if Miguel's off or we can do this stuff. But yeah, anything like that, I'm here for collabing, and I appreciate the time. And it's been great. It's been a great conversation.
Amazing, thank you so much. Yeah, maybe we should do an X space together. That would be cool.
Look, we're gonna start Absurd 1% Club again. I'm just working out the right day because it was really hard to keep it up on a Wednesday, and then a Thursday was bad for me because of work and
it's hard, isn't it? And life changes all the time. And because we were doing this was like the Witchin Hour on a Wednesday, and then Miguel was struggling to get away from work, and he was like racing to like get here, and it was like, oh, let's try a Thursday.
It's the last thing you want to do is waste. I remember getting so flappy sometimes about spaces because I've not eaten it either. I just literally, ate all my food when I got home from work, and then I was sweating like the speakers working. And, yeah, it got wild. But
yeah,
I think
it does.
the spaces, it's all about consistency, right? And it's,
I think
to
so.
find my day.
I think I think I might try and get back to a Monday. It's easier in the winter because the nights are dark, aren't they? So I suppose like it's not like I'm heading out with the dog late and stuff. And I might try and do a magical Monday space or something like that. It might be a nice way to start the week. It's working out the time, right? I find the time more than the day is like really tricky. There's some really big spaces that run during the day, but I'm like working and I'm like, oh God, could I really take an hour out of my day to do that? Or, I don't know, or do I sacrifice another night's sleep? I don't know.
The troubles of being a founder, being an artist, being a Web3er, being a collector.
It's because it never sleeps, right? So it's you never know which is the best time to do it. But yeah, I promise everybody I'm going to start doing regular like an X space because I do miss that little community chat. Like it's lovely doing the streams one-on-one. It's like you get to really deep dive into a project and a founder, but it's nice also hanging out in a space together.
Yeah, 100%. Like it can be a vibe, just like I say, randomly jumping into yours, and I think we was talking about all sorts of shit like
we did the
retro
classic.
stuff.
I think Frisky did the classic, came up, shilled, and disappeared out of the space, which made me really laugh, just to prove a point. And then he came back and it was like, yeah, I was kidding. We know.
Yeah,
But
we'll definitely connect about doing a space or like I say, once we've got some more time and stuff like that. But it's been a pleasure being there.
yeah.
I appreciate everyone that tuned in, and I love the name, by the way, the Cavern Radio.
The
It's
Coven Radio, yeah. Because we collabed with Rebel Ants and they have Rebel Ants Radio, and I was like, well, what can, and so I would call it Coven Radio, the Witchin Hour, which I thought was kind of nice. So
love it.
yeah, you know me, I'm always like always thinking.
I know the feeling.
But yeah, oh well, guys, thank you everyone who tuned in tonight. I know Crypt Social was here, HBC, Captain Futon. Oh, Captain Futon was the one who got my 1 of 1 in your raffle for the.
Oh, wicked!
Yeah, he absolutely loved that.
Make sure he gets his stakes because he earns bonuses if he's staking it.
Oh right, okay, I'm sure he's probably still here. You need to stake it, Futon. Sippo's here, Luna. So yeah, thanks everyone who kind of joined, and yeah, we shall be here next week. Everyone have a lovely rest of your evening. Good night, guys.
Much love.